My dear, in this video, I'm going to share a secret that only years of living have taught me. Marriage, you see, is not something that you build once and leave there, firm and strong like a great rock. No. It's more like a garden that needs daily care. After those moments when hearts meet, where intimacy makes love bloom, that's when the real work begins. Even before you think about breakfast, before the sun stretches its first rays on the horizon, it's time to start rebuilding what has been lived. Each dawn brings with it the chance to renew the commitment, to strengthen the bonds that unite two souls. This daily effort is like the wind gently pushing a boat forward. It's not an easy task, my dear, and it won't happen by magic. But with patience, affection, and the wisdom of one who knows how to wait, you'll see that this love, nurtured and cared for day by day, becomes unshakable, growing strong and steadfast like a centuries-old tree, with roots running deep in the earth. And when you least expect it, you'll see that all that daily effort, even before breakfast, was what truly kept the love you share alive and flourishing. Listen well to what this old soul has to tell you. Marriage, despite all its charm and promises of eternity, is not something that remains unshakable over the years. No, my dear, it's like a flowing river, and if we're not careful, it may end up changing its course without us even noticing. In the beginning, everything is passion, laughter, and shared dreams. But over time, if we don't nurture that flame, it may begin to fade. What was once a vibrant dance between two souls can turn into a monotonous routine, almost like a clock that just ticks away, devoid of emotion. And that's when boredom sneaks in, like a weed in a garden, taking root slowly, silently, until you realize that the love, once so alive, has become a shadow of what it once was. And my dear, when boredom sets in, eyes start to wander, seeking excitement and novelty elsewhere. That's when problems, hurts, and even infidelities arise. Not because love has died, but because it has been neglected, set aside, like a plant that hasn't seen water in a long time. The secret, my dear, lies in understanding the relativity of things. Knowing that marriage needs to be nurtured, that it requires constant attention, new experiences, laughter, and deep conversations. It's about renewing the commitment daily, looking at each other with fresh eyes, rediscovering the person by your side. Because if we don't do this, if we don't tend to the garden of our marriage, we risk letting it turn into a desert. And that, my dear, is when problems arise and what was once a sacred bond may break, bringing pain and regret. So, take care of love, nourish it, keep it alive and vibrant. This way, you and your partner can journey through the years side by side, with a love that grows and strengthens, rather than wilting and fading with time. Let me tell you something that time has taught me. Marriage, you see, is like a boat sailing on the open sea. At first, the sea might be calm, the waters serene, and the journey seems easy, almost as if the winds are always in your favor. But my dear, the sea of life is full of surprises, and the sky won't always be clear. Sometimes, without warning, storms arise. The waves grow large, the wind blows strong, and the boat starts to rock from side to side. It's in these moments that the true test begins. If one of the partners isn't steady at the helm, if they make a mistake, even a small one, that boat carrying your dreams and promises might start to sink. It could be a word spoken in haste, a thoughtless action, or even a lack of care and attention. In the stormy seas of marriage, any lapse can create a hole in the hull. And if not repaired in time, the boat starts to take on water, sinking slowly, until one day you look around and realize you're deeper in trouble than you ever imagined. So, my dear, in a marriage, you must always be vigilant, always watchful. Both of you need to row together, in the same direction, with your eyes fixed on the horizon, ready to face any storm that comes your way. And if a mistake happens, because everyone makes mistakes, my dear, it's important to fix it quickly before the boat starts to sink. With care and love, The boat can sail through even the roughest seas, and by the end of the journey, you'll reach a safe harbor, stronger and more united than ever. Marriage, this beautiful and complicated union, often depends on a delicate balance, like a dance where one leads and the other follows. But let me tell you, it's not a simple thing. In a successful marriage, there are times when one needs to take the reins, lead the way, while the other follows, trusting in the chosen direction. This doesn't mean that one is more important than the other, but that they understand the rhythm of life and know when it's time to follow and when it's time to guide. It's an exchange, my dear, a dance where both have their moment to shine. But there's something else that many people don't talk about, and it's important to know. Sometimes, this dynamic turns into a sort of manipulation game, where one partner tries to control the other, pulling the strings subtly or even blatantly. Oh, my dear, this is dangerous. A marriage should not be a power struggle, where one tries to always be on top and the other remains beneath. This only leads to resentments, hurts, and often, to a rift that is hard to mend. The real secret, my dear, lies in finding the balance. Knowing when it's time to yield and when it's time to take the lead. It requires sensitivity to understand the moments and, above all, respect for the partner. A successful marriage is like a dance of two hearts, where each has its role, but both understand that, in the end, they are equal in this journey. So, my dear, be cautious of this power dynamic. Leading is not about dominating, and following is not about submitting. It's about finding harmony, so that both can flourish together, without one suffocating the other. Marriage, no matter how beautiful and full of love it may be, brings with it its own set of challenges. Sometimes, I think of marriage as a puzzle, a riddle filled with pieces that only come together when two lives intertwine. You see, when we're alone, the problems we face are ours and ours alone. We solve them our way, without having to think about anyone else, without needing to consider someone else's feelings or desires. But when you marry, oh my dear, it's as if new challenges appear out of nowhere, things you never imagined you'd face. Suddenly, issues arise that simply wouldn't exist if you were on your own. Small disagreements, differences in opinion, even the adjustments of living together. It's as if marriage brings with it a new set of problems to solve. But you know what? That's where the beauty lies. These challenges, these trials, are disguised opportunities to grow, both as individuals and as a couple. Solving problems together forges bonds that are stronger than any difficulty that might come your way. It's like forging a chain in the heat of adversity. Each link you create together makes the relationship more resilient. So, yes, marriage brings problems you might never face if you were alone. But these problems, my dear, are the stones that pave the way to a deeper love, a more genuine connection. In the end, it's this shared journey, with all its ups and downs, that makes marriage worthwhile. Ah, my dear, when life leads us to a second marriage, often, deep down, there is a desire to start anew, to leave behind the pain and memories of the first. We think that perhaps this new love will be like a fresh breeze, sweeping away the sorrows of the past and bringing a new chance for happiness. But, you know what? The truth is that the memories of the first marriage never completely disappear. They linger, like marks on the soul, silent but present. Marrying again might seem like an attempt to overcome what was, to forget what hurt, but these memories are stubborn, my dear. They cling to us, not to hurt, but to remind us of what we've learned and lived through. Now, this doesn't mean that a second marriage can't be a blessing, a new opportunity to find happiness. On the contrary, it can be a chance to do things differently, to apply the lessons life has already taught us. But it's important to remember that it's not about erasing the past as if it were a chalkboard. Instead, it's about writing a new chapter, with more wisdom and understanding. What you've lived before is part of who you are, and trying to erase those memories would be like wiping away a piece of your own story. The secret, dear one, isn't about forgetting the past, but learning to live with it, embracing it as an old friend who has taught you much. And as you step into a new marriage, take with you the lessons learned, so this new journey can be lighter, fuller of love and understanding. In the end, a second marriage isn't about overcoming the first, but about finding peace and joy in the path you've chosen to follow from here on out. In a marriage, those long conversations, the ones that stretch into the night, are like pure gold. You see, when two people can sit together and talk about everything and nothing, it's a sign that love is strong and healthy. These conversations, my dear, are like the glue that binds souls together. It's not just about discussing the day-to-day or the practicalities of life, but about diving deep into thoughts, dreams, doubts, and joys. It's there, in those exchanged words, that the heart finds refuge, and the bonds grow stronger. When two people can engage in such talks for hours, without growing tired, it's because there is a true connection, mutual respect, and a genuine curiosity about what the other thinks and feels. It's as if time stands still and nothing else matters but that shared moment. And you know something? No matter how much time passes, if a couple can maintain those meaningful conversations, then, my dear, you can be sure that marriage is a treasure. Because a love that expresses itself in words, that finds joy in sharing even the simplest things, is a love that will withstand the test of time and the storms of life. So, whenever you can, sit down with your partner, listen attentively, and speak with an open heart. Because these conversations, my dear, are the true measure of a successful marriage, where two souls find comfort and joy in each other's company. Ah, my dear, come here and let me tell you a truth that time has taught me. Time, you see, is a curious thing. When it comes to marriage, it can be both a friend and an enemy, depending on how we use it. Marrying young, my dear, is like picking fruit that's not quite ripe. At first, everything seems sweet and full of promises, but as the years go by, you might start wondering, did I rush things? Did I explore the world enough before taking this step? Oh, these regrets can arise, like shadows following your path. But on the other hand, marrying later can also bring its own regrets. It's like waiting too long to plant a tree and then realizing that the harvest time is getting shorter. The fear of missing out on companionship, of not having enough time to build memories together, can weigh heavily on the heart. The truth, my dear, is that regret can find us at any age, whether we rushed or waited too long. What truly matters is what we do with the time we have. Marrying young or marrying late, both have their blessings and challenges. There is no perfect moment, and life is full of crossroads where we must choose a path, without knowing what the other might have held in store. The secret, dear one, is to accept the choices we make with all the wisdom we have at the moment. In the end, regret doesn't have to be a burden, but rather a reminder that what matters is living fully, loving, and learning, no matter when or with whom we choose to share this journey. For a marriage to be truly happy, it's not enough to fall in love just once and think everything is settled. No, my dear, the secret lies in learning to fall in love repeatedly with the same person. It's like a garden that needs to be tended and watered constantly. Love, just like a plant, cannot grow and bloom if it doesn't receive daily attention. Each day is a new opportunity to rediscover the charm of your partner, to see something new in them that makes your heart beat a little faster. Passion isn't a flame that ignites once and stays lit forever. No, it needs to be rekindled, nurtured, like a fire you must tend to keep from going out. It's about looking at your loved one with fresh eyes, finding beauty in the small things of everyday life, and renewing the desire to be with them. Every day is a chance to fall in love again, to see the qualities that might have been hidden or perhaps forgotten. This is what keeps a marriage vibrant and full of life. When you can fall in love repeatedly with the same person, you turn the relationship into something deep and enduring. So, my dear, always remember this. Love isn't a destination, but a journey. And for this journey to be filled with happiness, You must fall in love anew, day after day, with the person you've chosen to share your life with. Every day is a chance to fall in love again, to see the qualities that might have been hidden or perhaps forgotten. This is what keeps a marriage vibrant and full of life. When you can fall in love repeatedly with the same person, you turn the relationship into something deep and enduring. So, my dear, always remember this. Love isn't a destination, but a journey. And for this journey to be filled with happiness, you must fall in love anew, day after day, with the person you've chosen to share your life with.